Okay, so in this video we're going to learn how to add fractions. Now remember, when we add fractions, we have to remember that both the fractions have to have the same denominator. Okay, so looking at this first question here, 3/5 plus 1/5, the denominators 5 and 5 are the same, so we can add it. So remember, when we add the fractions, let's just draw my fraction line here, the denominator stays the same. If the denominators are the same, then we just leave it as it is. So our answer is going to be 5. Oh, we'll have a denominator of 5. But what do we do with the numerators, the top numbers? So we just simply add the numerators together. So it's 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1. And then we just simplify. So 3 plus 1. So our numerator will be 4. And denominator stays the same, 4/5. So you see the denominator stays the same whilst you only add the numerators. So numerators is 3 plus 1 gets us 4/5. Okay, let's move on to our next question. What about if the denominators are different? So in this question we have 2/5 plus 1/4. Let me just change the color of my brush. Now, the first thing you have to do is you have to make the denominators the same. Now, the easiest way to do this is to find the lowest common denominator. Okay, the lowest common denominator. What does that mean? It's the lowest number that both the denominators go into. I'll say that again. It's the lowest number that both these numbers go into. So if we say the number 10, 5 goes into 10. Okay, so let's write the number 10 here. 5 goes into 10 2 times, but 4 doesn't really go into 10 in even amount of times. We have 2, but has 2 remainder as well. So that's not a good number. What about 20? Okay, what about 20? Well, 5 goes into 20 and 4 goes into 20. So, and 5 goes into 24 times, or 4 goes into 25 times. So, and it's the lowest number that both these numbers go into. So our lowest common denominator would be 20 for this question. Okay, so let me just rub this out. So how do we proceed from here? Well, next first thing we have to do is that we have to find an equivalent fraction. So I'll write my 2/5. Now, to get my denominator, now my goal is to get this denominator to 20. I have to multiply it by 4, because we know that 5 goes into 20 4 times. Now, what we do to the bottom, we have to do the top. You might have heard that rule before. And the reason for this is we're technically multiplying this number by 1. You see, 4 over 4, 4 divided by 4 is 1. So we're basically multiplying this number by 1. But we do get a different fraction. We find an equivalent fraction. Okay, we get an equivalent fraction. So that's why what you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So our 2/5 we multiply by 4 and multiply by 4 on the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so we do that to our next fraction as well. Plus is our 1/4. And remember, we want to get this denominator to 20, so 4 goes into 25 times, so we know we multiply it by 5. Multiply it by 5. Okay, and again, what we do to the bottom, we do to the top, and that's because 5 divided by 5 is 1. And when you multiply anything by 1, you don't really change the number, do you? But we're finding equivalent fractions, so we can proceed and find the solution to this question. So 2 times 4 gives us 8, and 5 times 4 gives us 20. So we got our lowest common denominator, which was what we wanted. And then this fraction, 1 times 5 is 5, and 4 times 5 is 20. Okay. Now what do we do next? Well, it was like the question before, isn't it? We got the same denominators now. So all we have to do, because we know our answer will have denominator 20, the denominator doesn't change. And we just add the numerators, 8 plus 5. So I wrote that very badly. So 8 plus 5, that goes 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Sorry, I still count with my fingers. 13 over 20. Okay. So now we know how to add our